Now we're going to do the second part of our 134A. Okay, the directions are to circle the shape with a perimeter of 14 centimeters. What does perimeter mean? Perimeter means when you add all four sides and see what the entire length of all four sides together. That is perimeter. It tells us to measure in centimeters, so I have my ruler with me. Okay, after we do that, we're going to be doing area. Color the shapes with area of 12 square centimeters, and we're going to color that red. So make sure that you have your red crayon to go along with that, okay? Area, let's understand what area is again. Area is when we multiply the length of the shape times the width of the shape, okay? And that will either be for a square or a rectangle. Okay, so perimeter, remember, means all four sides. So let's go ahead and use our centimeter side, okay, to see, can you tell that that's at 3? Okay, yes, so we're going to put a 3 here, 3 cm. And that means that the top would also be 3, okay? Now it looks like a square, but I'm going to make sure that it's a square, okay? So if it's a square, all four sides are the same. Okay, yes, indeed, that is 3, which means that this side over here has to also be 3. Now remember what I said with perimeter. Perimeter, we have to add up all four sides. So that would be 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. Okay? 3, 6, 9, 12. So all together we have 12 centimeters. The area is when you multiply the length times the width. Okay? So 3 times 3 is 9. Moving on. Okay, let's see what this one is. This one has a length of 4, which means that the top is also 4. Okay, and this side is shorter, and we see that that one is 3. Okay, which means that the other side is also 3. Okay, and we're going to add that up together. So 4 plus 4 is 8. 3 plus 3 is 6. So the perimeter of the shape is 14 centimeters. Remember what area means? Area means multiply. So you multiply 3 times 4. 3 times 4 is 12. Okay, moving on. The perimeter and the area. All right, so perimeter is adding up all four sides, and the length of this one is 6. That's the longer side. Length is longer, okay? Which means the top is also 6. Okay, the side looks really short. The side, if you can see, is 2. Okay. Which means this other side is 2. Okay, how do we get perimeter? We add. So I see 6 plus 6 is 12. I'm just going to write that to the side. It didn't ask you to do a number sentence, but if you did, it'd be 6 plus 2 plus 6 plus 2 in any order. Okay, the other side's 2 plus 2 is 4. So 12 plus 4 is 16. Okay, and what I was saying is you can do it like this. 6 plus 6 plus 2 plus 2, you'd still get 16. Okay, so you're just adding up all four sides when you do perimeter. So the perimeter was 16. That's what we came up with. All right, to get area, we have to multiply. We're going to multiply the length times the width. So 2 times 6. 2 times 6 is 12. Okay, we get the area by multiplying length times width. All right, so then it asks us to go back and color the shapes with areas of 12 square centimeters red. Okay, areas of 12. Does this have an area, an A of 12? No. Does this have an area of 12? Yes, it does. So we're going to color that one in red. Okay. Sorry, my coloring isn't perfect. I'm just getting it colored in red. Thank you. All right, and let's look at our last one. Okay, Is our last one have an area of 12? Yes, it does. So we're going to color this one in red as well. Okay, good deal. All right, moving on to the bottom. Okay, so we have find these answers using the number line. All right, so it says -3 plus 2. Remember, we always start on the 0. Do you remember that? All right, and it says first go to -3, so I go from the 0 to the -3. Okay, that's my first one. Then it says add 2 to that. So I'm going to add, let's put an arrow, 1, 2. 1, 2 gets me back to -1. So that's my answer. What did I do? I went from 0. I always start on 0. It tells me -3 first, so I went to the -3. Then it tells me to add 2, so I added 1, 2. What did I land on? I landed on -1, so that is my answer. Let's do another one. It says 3 plus -2. What do I always start on? I always start on 0. Okay, it says go to 3 first. Here is your 3. Oops. There is your 3. Okay. Then plus -2. So you know what I do? I go backwards 2. Backwards 1, 2. Okay. Look what I landed on. I landed on 1. Okay. I went from the 3 and I went backwards 2 because it says -2. So -1, -2. I went backwards. I landed on the 1. Okay. And then lastly, we are going to do our simplifying of expressions, which we did earlier this week. Okay, so it's 9 plus 2 times 3 minus 6 divided by 3 plus 3. Remember what I told you to find first? Multiplication and division problems. That's right. So I'm going to put parentheses. Remember, the other thing that you can do is underline anything that is multiplication or division. There's another one. There's 6 divided by 3, okay? Remember, you could also have underlined those. So first we're going to work this. 2 times 3, hang on, we're going to do 9. Bring down that 9 and that plus. Okay, so 2 times 3 is 6. Pull down your minus sign. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Pull down your plus 3. Okay, then you're going to work from left to right. 9 plus 6 is 15. Minus 2 plus 3. Okay, 15 minus 2 is 13. Plus 3 gives you 16. Okay, all right, so the answer to the whole problem is 16. All right, moving on to our division. Okay, we have 8 into 74, or 74 divided by 8. 8 will not go into 7, so we look at the whole number, okay, and we say our 8s. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 3 is 24. 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 6 is 48. 8 times 7 is 56. 8 times 8 is 64. 8 times 9 is 72. 8 times 10 is 80. 80 is too big. 8 times 10 is 80 is too big. So go back to 8 times 9. 8 times 9 was 72. So I'm going to write the 9 right here. The 7 was too small, so I'm looking at the whole number. Then multiply. 9 times 8 is 72. Then subtract. 4 minus 2 is 2. And 7 minus 7 is 0. So the remainder is going to be a 2. So I'm going to write remainder 2. Then I go over here to check. I'm going to multiply 9 times 8. And I know that 9 times 8 is 72. Then do you remember what we do? We add on the remainder because that's not the same. That is not the same. So we add on that remainder right there. So 72 plus 2 is 74. And now we have our match. So we know that we got this right. Okay, let's do another one like that. Okay. 3 into 82, or 82 divided by 3. Okay. How many times will 3 go into 8? 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. Too big. So I got to go back to 3 times 2. 3 times 2 is 6. Multiply. 2 times 3 is, what was it? 6. Now I subtract. 8 minus 6 is 2. Okay. Now that's too small, so I bring down that 2. And how many times will 3 go into 22? Say your threes. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 8 is 24. That's too big. So go back to 3 times 7. 3 times 7 is 21. 7 times 3 is 21. Now I subtract. 2 minus 1 is 1, and 2 minus 2 is 0. So this is my remainder. I write remainder 1, okay? Then I'm going to check. I'm going to multiply 27 times 3. Move over here, 27 times 3. Okay, 3 times 7 is 21. I write the 1, carry the 2. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8. Okay, I did not get the same answer, so I add on this remainder, okay?